Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Jenny and this is Creating Crafts with Jenny. And I am doing an opening a kit, paint my number kit for TEMU. And we've kind of talked about this before. TEMU has, they are the middleman. Companies come to TEMU, like if I had a factory that I created paint my numbers or diamond paintings, I could approach TEMU and say, I have something I want to sell and here's my product and I would like for you to be the front store. And they would say, okay, so they're kind of like the middleman. So kind of similar to Etsy, only bigger product, bigger inventory, I would say. So that's kind of like what they do. But inside of TEMU, you can actually go in and actually, if you find a company that you like, you can actually follow companies and you can, if you find somebody that you like or products that you, say for example, if you buy a paint by number and you like it and you want to buy maybe something to complement it, that sort of thing, you might be able to find it under that company's inventory, that sort of thing. And you can even chat with them. They do have a chat capability with that company, which is quite interesting. Technology is really making things quite easy to communicate with people. Having said that, so this company, and I will put a picture of the paint by number that I'm talking about right here. And my throat's doing some weird stuff. I was doing fine up until I start talking. This is, hopefully I don't have to put my reading glasses on. It's HKCX. And I spent $15.76 for this. The reason I bought some of these is I'm still into kind of like that 3D look where you kind of like can draw around, and like I said, the picture of what it looks like will be right here. This was kind of a celestial type thing picture. It has 24 colors and it was part of that Paint by Leah. It came in one of their boxes. And the other day I did 3 of them. I actually had 4 of them, and then I shut down my filming, and I was like, duh, you had a 4th one, but I didn't do the 4th one. I know. So you have the paintbrushes, the little wooden paintbrushes, and they always give you something to hang your painting with. Here's the paints that they have. They look, sorry, one of them looked like it was kind of open. They look okay. I see some air bubbles, but hopefully they're okay. They did give you some little something to actually put the paints in. And here I'll show you what the paint by number looks like. Looks like this. I think it says it's 16 by 20, so it's a good size. It looks really good. I'll take a picture of this, and I will also put it right there, so you can take a look at it also. There's some small areas here. I'm kind of wishing I had my reading glasses on right now. It looks pretty cool though. Yeah, I'm looking into some software that makes paint by numbers, and it looks like some of the software that I'm looking at. I want to do a show for you guys in regards to some of the software that I'm looking at. So I'm working on that. Anyway, so yeah, this looks pretty cool. And like I said, the canvas has got some free color on the canvas. The canvas feels pretty good. I don't think I will need to treat it with anything. I think I can just sit down and start painting. If I need to remove the numbers, I think they'll come up just fine. Sometimes the water and alcohol, if you put it on canvas that has paint on it, it'll take up the paint too. But I probably will only use it on some of these colors that are super light. I would say like this color here, some of these really light colors. And they're in a light color area anyway, so I don't have an issue with that. So we'll be okay. I will take a picture of what it looks like when it's supposed to be painted, and I will take a picture of what the paint by number looks like unpainted. And we'll go from there on that one. I also have another one, and I'm not quite sure. They didn't take very long to get here. They really didn't. This one that I'm getting ready to show you is a folded canvas. I did make notes to myself that I ordered it December 18th and it came December 24th. So it came fairly quickly. This company is called Paint, and it's got AAA next to it, and I spent $5.63 for it, but it is folded. And here is a picture of the paint by number. It's really cute, and I will put a picture of it right here so you can see what it looks like. And as you guys know, I love succulent plants. Absolutely love them. It's a 40 by 40. So I can just see me mixing some of these paints together because I have my hummingbird paints laying right here. That wouldn't be good, would it? No, not good at all. No. Okay, let's separate those guys. All right. Let's see what they gave us here. All right. We got the blue paint brushes. We've got some paints, pretty colored paints. And the paints are not computer generated. They actually have numbers on them, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is nice. And the canvas. Well, the canvas is small. Like I said, it's 40 by 40. And it looks like that. It's nice. It's got a little bit of color to it. Not a ton. It looks like it's going to be fun to paint. The numbers aren't easy to see. I don't see a lot of, I don't like, when I say like overlapping, I don't know if that one has it down there or not. Let me see if I got it or not. I'll show it to you in here. On this one, and I'll show a picture of it here, what I'm talking about, and I will zero in on it. When I do computer programming, sometimes when they get a bunch of lines in the programming, and like I said, I'm going to do a show on this really badly. there's a bunch of lines, and it's really hard for the painter to distinguish where the lines go. And if the painting is too small and the lines are compressed, it's hard for you to follow. And even if you're using a brush like this, where the tip is really, really small, it's still hard to get and I will do a drop down onto this where you can see where I'm talking about really small areas. Let's see if I can do this with my camera without it freaking out on me. Okay, so see how their lines are really, really small. See those tiny, tiny lines. See the little tiny, tiny lines. It just, when a computer program's making that, you just have to watch to make sure that the lines are not overlapping each other, that there is something actually there that you can actually paint. And that's the hardest part of using computers to make these programs, is making sure that there's something, enough space for you to actually paint those lines. Does that make sense? Because I'm actually looking at programs that create paint by numbers, and sometimes it's like, and there's nothing wrong with the program, sometimes it's the picture, and sometimes you have to be able to, the canvas has to be big enough to be able to span back to capture where those lines are big enough so that you can actually paint between those tiny, tiny lines. And I want to do a show where I show you some of that. I really do. But looking at this one, they did a really good job with this one. And it's hard to do plants, and sometimes if the original picture has shadows on it and stuff like that, it's really hard for them to transfer that picture into a paint by number. It just is. They try. They try to do their best. I know they do. They try to make a good product. Because look at the detail on this picture. And like I said, I'll put a picture of it right here. And I'll make sure the picture is big so you can really see. There's a lot of detail here. There's a lot of color. There's a lot of lines. Not so much lines, but there's a lot of detail. And luckily, I think they sent me a lot of paints. I don't see a lot of air bubbles in their paints. So yeah. So for $5.63, this is what I got. So, and this was a company called Paint AAA, AAA, and I'll put TEMU, and I'll put the name of the paint, TEMU, and God, I can't even speak. TEMU and the company's name up here somewhere. So if you're interested and you're trying to narrow it down and try to find this one, that sort of thing. Again, I always check to make sure that this little picture and this sticker match each other, and also matches this here. Because I've said this before, I don't keep them all together. I keep my paints separately. That was my biggest concern with the paints by Leah, was that the paints didn't match the canvases. I know, that was kind of weird. I do have plans to go on to her website, I guess it's a she, and actually order something from them just to see what I get. And like I said, I don't know where those actually came from. I don't know. I don't know the politics on that. I don't want to even go there with that. You know, that sort of thing. Anyway, so, but I will, when I get ready to paint these, I will kind of do a re-unboxing and say where they come from, that sort of thing. We'll go from there. Alright, so I'm going to get off here, and I just wanted to share those with you. But I had those two. Like I said, I forgot to do the third opening of that box of the one that came from Leah. Like I said, I had 4 of them that day, and I did 3. And I shut the cameras off, and I was like, oh my gosh, you had another one. And then I had this little one sitting nearby, and I was like, well, I might as well do it today. So there's those for you. Alright, so I'm going to get off here, and what I always tell you guys, go out there. Be absolutely awesome. Do your thing, and I'll see you in my next video. Talk to you soon. Bye.